Hello, good evening, everyone. It's SilverFox Sonya here on this Tuesday evening. All of my Foxies are running just a few minutes behind, and we'll be right with you shortly. Come on in. I'm going to give y'all some time to come in. And here we go. We got one that's popping in now. Shamarian. Good evening. You got a lot of noise in your background.
Let me mute my.
Yeah, you'll have to mute. Okay, that's perfect. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the SilverFox Sonya podcast. Let me know who's joining us. Say hi. Good evening. We are awaiting our other two Foxes to join us. If you'll give us just a few moments, we will be with you all shortly. Who we got with us? Let's see. I can't see with my glasses. Who we got on here with us? We got someone in SilverFox Sonya podcast, and then SilverFox Sonya. Who's ever joining us from SilverFox Sonya, could you please go over to SilverFox Sonya podcast, because the comments don't always show up on SilverFox Sonya. And eventually I will be moving completely to SilverFox Sonya podcast. So if you could please go on and join at SilverFox Sonya podcast. Thank you. And then here we go. We got one of our other Foxes that's popped in. Lauren. Hey, Tuda. You're on mute, darling.
Oh, I just got finished working out, so you're going to get hot hair.
That's okay. I almost put my cap on. I'm so excited that y'all are all here tonight. It's been, 2 months since all four of us have been here?
Really?
2 months.
No.
At least a month and a half. But that's okay. I'm so excited. Y'all, welcome to the SilverFox Sonya podcast. We got Kendra Black Barbie. We got Lauren Melissa. We got Shamarian Young, also known as Sham. So welcome to the SilverFox Sonya podcast. We're coming back again talking about dating shenanigans. And we've been discussing love languages. So we're going to give people a little more time to come in and join us. I just had someone come in that was on SilverFox Sonya. Those that are on SilverFox Sonya, could you please go to SilverFox Sonya podcast? If you're coming on SilverFox Sonya Facebook page, could you please go to SilverFox Sonya podcast so we can get all your questions and comments? We want to be able to put your questions and comments up on the screen so we can have more, communication, be able to show your information. So give us a few seconds. We're going to do our countdown here. Ladies, y'all ready? Everyone have a good Labor Day? Yeah. I haven't talked to y'all to catch up. I miss y'all. So Foxes, give us a little time. We still got people popping in on SilverFox Sonya. If you could go to SilverFox Sonya podcast, that would be great. If not, you want to stay there, that's fine too. just if you want to make a comment, we'd love to see your questions and comments and be able to put them on the screen. So give us a second here. We're going to do our countdown. Be right back, ladies. Hello, Foxes and Foxies out there in Facebook land, YouTube, and we're not quite on Instagram yet, but welcome to the SilverFox Sonya podcast. This edition and episode, you have all four of us, and I'm so excited to have us back. I'm SilverFox Sonya. I'm your host tonight, hosting our podcast, talking about dating shenanigans, and we're discussing love languages. So we're going to recap on acts of service, what we talked about last week, as well as get into physical touch when it comes to dating. So again, I'm SilverFox Sonya. Hello, welcome. I'm going to let my Foxies introduce themselves, so y'all have at it. Lauren, you want to go first?
Hey y'all, so I'm Lauren Melissa. You can find me on Instagram and random spots on YouTube. If you are, lucky, you'll find me on a couple YouTube shows. But yeah, that's where I'm from. That's where I am.
Alrighty, I'm Ken. You can find me on Instagram at Miss Black Barbie, the number 2, the letter U. I'm not on any YouTubes, so don't be trying to look me up on there. But you can find me on Instagram. I'm happy to be back. It has been a long time.
Yes.
Hi, Foxy.
Hi. It's on you, Shamarian.
Are you on
mute? There we go. I was trying to unmute it.
Oh, you muted yourself again, Sham.
There we go. Can you hear me? Okay. So I'm Shamarian, also known as Sham. You can't find me nowhere but at home and work for the most part these days, so don't try searching.
Well, there's that.
Okay, so y'all, those are my Foxies. I love these ladies dearly. We made I've known Shamarian almost all her life. Lauren, met her about 3 or 4 years ago, and met Kendra. It's been 1.5 years now through Lauren. And we just made this wonderful connection. So tonight we're talking dating shenanigans, love languages. Our last episode, we talked acts of services, and we started off with Destiny's Child, Cater to You, and went through the song, talked about what acts of service is, as well as Babyface's song, Soon as I Get Home. And in that podcast, we had somebody that was tearing up our comments. And after the podcast, I kind of got a little in my feelings. I could say, number one, I thank God for deliverance, because the person that was all in our chats and comments was somebody I've talked about in our podcast. So it really didn't bother me. Other people were like, isn't that so-and-so? Yeah, that was him. He know better than that.
Was him.
Like, I'm just like,
that's why
you knew that, Sham?
That's when you know God has delivered you, and some stuff you are just over and just ain't got to talk about no more. Acknowledge it and just let them say what they're gonna say. But in our acts of services, we talked about, I went back and listened to our podcast, and Kendra, you weren't here, but we had mentioned things we would do as far as dating or would not do as far as acts of services. Lauren was just like, what you say, you got to be married to the man first before you start tying their shoe, cooking their dinner.
I mean, there's certain things that you need to leave something that's, I don't want to say to be desired, but something that you're looking forward to. If you're giving them everything but before the ring, why would they want to give you a ring? Like, what other benefits are you going to give them outside of everything you're already giving if you're going to do it up front? That's just my philosophy.
I get it. I get it. I'm the type of person that you get what you get. So I feel like I'm a generous person in general. So how I treat somebody is how I would treat them. Yes, I definitely agree. Some stuff you say for, marriage or, when you actually are together for the long haul, but they got to know what, you got to test drive the car. So they need to know what's happening. That's not just in the sexual way.
But what's included in that test drive?
I would say just a glimpse of what could be in the future, not necessarily giving it all. I mean, so say for instance, you know how to cook and you love to cook and you cook often, maybe, letting them try your meals, every once in a while. I'm not saying you're going to cook every day like you normally would if that was your husband. But, every so often, maybe not as often, but just to let them know I can cook. I do like to cook, So there's something that you get when you get me. Just to let them know I can cook. All right.
Sorry. So we have.
Where you stay at again, Kendra? Since you like to cook, I'm gonna pop up on your house.
Come on. I'm in West Houston. I don't think we far from each other.
So I have a question for those, or not a question, a comment. We're getting comments on Facebook, but under SilverFox Sonya. So those that are under SilverFox Sonya on Facebook, if you could please go into your search in the top left-hand corner in Facebook and type in SilverFox Sonya podcast. Go to that page. We'll be able to see your comments, and I'll be able to bring them up on the screen so the Foxies can see them. And then those that are listening as well will be able to see your comments. That would be so helpful for us. If you could do that, that would be grateful. Because we have one comment. Miss Petey said, "Don't play wife during the dating stage." So yeah. And then I was going back, I was listening to our podcast from last week, and there was a question we got or received about dating and multi-dating. And I know Shamarian had stated she does not believe in dating more than one person at a time because you don't have time, you have to work. Lauren was the same. Me, I'm a little different. I think you should, because men do it all the time, but we don't realize that we're in rotation. So I just wanted to bring that up because I thought about that since the last podcast, and I'm like, we should multi-date until you find that one that you decide, or y'all make the decision to, we're not dating anyone else.
I definitely think we should be serial daters. However, I'm with them. It is a struggle for me. Once I like somebody, I like somebody. And so therefore, I spend all my, you give time to what you want to give time to. And if
that is true.
That one person, all the other ones fall by the wayside, even if I was to start serial dating. So it's just more so because it's difficult for me to do, not because I don't necessarily want to do it.
Yeah, like if you know yourself, like I know I be in my feelings all the time. Okay, like ain't no way I can like be into like multiple men at the same time. Like I like what I like, and if that fizzle out, then okay, I'll move to the next. And unfortunately, if somebody likes me while I'm liking somebody else, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not about to wait around for you." Should the guy not work out and you not there no more, that's your bad. Just you better, keep liking me till I come around. I don't know.
But they really don't go anywhere usually. Like I said, they put you on rotation. You either every other week or once a month. You Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday.
Who got time
you
for
on
that?
A rotation.
Who got time for that?
I don't date often enough to know.
Well, we've been in a pandemic, so that's hard. But I think if we wasn't in a pandemic, it may be a little easier. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to bring that up. But now,
I think for the most part, you can tell because they're not
consistent. Is that what you said? They're not consistent, Shamaria? Yeah. Yeah.
I think you can tell when you're in rotation because they're not consistent.
I don't know that I've ever been in a rotation. I mean, you say it happens all the time and you just not know. But I feel like with me being just a monogamous dater, when I do it, I feel like I would know, like you said, if it was no consistency. And I see the consistency. So then I'm just like, well, I'm sure they're not talking to nobody else either because they can't be because they spend all their time with me.
Girl, you can't always trust that.
This is very true because this people be living whole double lives and whatnot with whole families across town. So you right.
I'm can't always trust it.
I said, I assume. Okay.
You just got to ask the questions and then watch. But our next love language is going to be physical touch, ladies. I know physical touch for me, like that's my number 2 since I got 3 that I'm number 2 on. But when it comes to my love language, I know I'm physical touch. Number 1 will be acts of service. Number 2 will be physical touch. And I'm like that with everybody because I'm a huggy kind of person and like to touch on people. But when it comes to dating, when is too soon to touch? And
so what? Go ahead. One thing that I found out recently about me, I used to hate when people touch me, and I used to not like PDA. But now I'm like, that's my way of like showing somebody like that, like you're present. Like I see you, you're here. Like and I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's just I'm older, and I don't mind PDA. And like so, over time, I got into physical touch. I might have to retake the quiz. And I see a comment. It depends on the chemistry, and that's exactly right. It does depend on the chemistry. But I think it's not too soon as long as they don't feel like uncomfortable. Like you definitely don't want to assume that that's somebody's love language and is not, and they're uncomfortable. Like that's not what you want to do because that could be a total turn off. But I don't think there's a time limit on when you should start physical touch because if that's somebody's love language, that's their way of saying like, that's the way of showing my love and affection.
So on the first date, you would touch it. You'd be touchy.
I'm all over the ear. I'm like feeling on the shoulder, the leg, the arm. I am.
Ladies, I'll let y'all go first before I say what I'm getting ready to say.
I'm with Noah on it depends on the chemistry. I'm all about the vibes. If I feel that way on the first date, great. If I feel that way on the third date, okay. There's no time limit on it. I'm definitely not a Lauren. I feel like I like physical touch. I'm all for the PDA and all that stuff too. I mean, not too crazy, but as far as me doing that, it is something I evolved to. I'm only like touchy-feely with significant others. But I do find that I do a lot of like when I'm laughing or joking or just in general conversation, I do touch a lot. Like you said, Sonya, I'm a very like, so I do that very often unknowingly. So maybe it is just, I don't know if that means that's a part of my love language or just me in general, just being a touchy-feely person. But I don't like if somebody oversteps those boundaries and I'm not ready for those boundaries to be crossed.
So when I started dating, one of my girlfriends told me, she's like, Sonya, you can't touch on men like that. Or I can't, well, not like that. She didn't see me touch on anyone, but because I'm a touchy-feely person, she's like, a man is going to think immediately like, oh, yeah, she wanted, she touching all on me, give it to me. I'm like, really? Do men really feel that way if you touch on them? They think that, oh, yeah, She ready for some sex.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I just think it depends on the guy. I feel like because I'm the same way you are, like with the touchy feely. I feel like women do notice it, and it's also very much so like if it's somebody's significant other, they might feel some type of way unless they know you. So I feel like it's hard to try to be conscious of when you just do it naturally and with the most, pure intentions. It's not like you trying to do anything extra. But I don't think all guys think it's something sexual.
But it is one of the love languages where it's hard to interpret, because you're right, Sonya. That sometimes is like an indication of like, it's go time, like let's go kind of thing. Like it just depends. So I think that's where like that communication piece comes into play, like where if that's just something that he's used to, or if he's not used to it and you do it, then that might be like an indicator. So it's just all about communicating and knowing who it is and not forcing yourself all over him.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. So what if you on a first date, physical touch and kissing, and
if I don't like him, I'm gonna be mad and I'm like, get your hands off me.
I don't like guys who are overly touchy-feely when you first meet them. Like I said, you got to feel the vibes out. But if I'm like pulling away, you shouldn't be still trying to put your arm around me, or no, I don't know you like that. And I don't even want to get to know you like that.
Oh my God, Kendra. Be mean.
It's not mean. It's about being comfortable.
Yeah, when you first meet him, yeah. But I would think
this is the first date.
I would think you would have had multiple conversations with the dude before you could meet up with him in person.
Yeah, but still, you don't want him all over you.
Well, it's COVID. Yeah, no.
But even prior to COVID,
I would say minus COVID, I feel like, for example, if you're doing dating apps or something, you might have a conversation or two with these guys, and then y'all decide to go out, and you just decide if you don't want to waste your time, just go on this date. If y'all haven't had too many discussions and you decide, okay, well, we'll go out to see how it goes, just because I'm more of a talk on the phone or FaceTime or in person. I don't like texting or messaging. And so we can see how that chemistry goes, and chemistry through the text message and phone is not the same.
Totally different than what it is in person. Yes.
So I might get around you and I might have thought you was okay before that, and then I'm just like, I ain't feeling it. So I feel like it's all depending on the vibe, and that's not to be mean.
Because I get them where they always, after every first date I've gone on, they always want to kiss me. Always.
I'm like,
and I've been able to get away from all of them except one.
He laid a big wet one on you, Sonya.
Ooh, girl.
It was the one you wanted to, or no?
I didn't want to, but have you ever been caught between the rock and the hard place? And then it's just like they kiss you, you try to get away, and all of a sudden you was like, ooh, like, I mean, like you just melt. But I didn't talk to him long. I really wasn't interested in him, but yeah. Some people, so we got a comment, sorry. Some people meet and it's love at first sight.
This is true. So I said it just depends on the chemistry, I might like you as soon as I meet you, so I might want to touch on you and let you touch on me. But we got to feel that out before you get to touching.
That's scary.
What's scary? Love
touch
at first
and
sight.
feel that love at, yeah, in that.
Well, I ain't even gonna say love at first sight, but if you are comfortable enough to like somebody at first sight.
So yeah, Shamir,
it's more infatuated at first sight.
Yeah, I was about to say
not love at first sight. I don't feel like
Oh, you went back on mute.
I don't feel like you can thoroughly love a person if you don't know who they are. So I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe in infatuation and attraction at first sight. So it really doesn't depend on the chemistry. The chemistry comes more so on how y'all vibe, and goes back to what Sonya says, like, are you comfortable with someone touching you? That's where chemistry comes in. But I don't believe in love at first sight. You have to know a person to love them, because they're just not one way. So no, Nash, I disagree with that.
So hear me out, because I feel like, because I had this conversation this weekend, and it was like, what'd you say?
Nothing.
I said that you can, in terms of love at first sight, you can meet somebody and know that you can love them. Like, how you meet somebody, it's like, you're easy to love. Like, I know I can love you. Like, that's my interpretation of like love at first sight. You may not be in love with them, and you may not like say I love you like the first time you see them, but I could meet somebody and be like, yep, I can see myself like being in love with you. Like, you have the characteristics and the qualities and like all of these things. So for me, when I hear love at first sight, that's what I get from that.
So it depends on your definition.
Yeah.
All right, Miss.
So Mr. Nash, you've had love at first sight?
It probably wasn't strong love if they're no longer together. So the love didn't last too long. It was very shallow.
Well, I hope they still together.
She didn't even say it with a smile on her face.
Can't be. Because he in the comments too much to be together.
Oh my gosh, damn.
We've all had love at first sight. People just get older and become more in denial.
No, Nash, I've never had love at first sight. You can't speak for a whole species, so that's a no. I've never had love at first sight, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are on the same page with me. So please speak for yourself in these comments tonight.
I've had love at first sight, but I was young. I was young. I think maybe as you get older, maybe not.
So Nash, did you ever feel you gave your all to somebody and you felt there was a mistake?
And some people are not
out of love with somebody.
Say that again, Lauren.
You can meet somebody and be like, oh, this is love at first sight, and fall out of love.
Because you see something you don't like?
Not necessarily. You could be with somebody for years, right? And then all of a sudden, this goes to Shamarian's point of like, have you ever given your all to somebody? You could be working your way to giving your all to them, and it just never you never get to where you feel like you can really be free or let loose. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is like, I was one that really believed in love at first sight. Then I was like, nah, I don't. But now I'm to this point where I think it can happen. It could definitely happen. I've experienced, I don't want to say it's been love, but like to the point was like, I could totally see myself being with you, like that kind of thing. And to me, I would equate that to love at first sight. It's just my definition is different.
Okay, we got 2 more comments here. Different strokes for different folks, and different people bring out different things in you. True. And then you can never give your all to anybody, because if you give your all, then there's nothing left for you. And that is true as well.
I mean, at least try to get half. At least try to get half. Like, know your capacity and then just proceed moving forward.
Oh God, this girl here tonight.
Yeah, she's straight shooter tonight. I agree. Different strokes for different folks, and different people do bring out different things in you.
Yes.
Like Lauren said, at the point that she sees the potential in somebody in the beginning, but then it doesn't get to that full potential. Everybody doesn't bring that out of you. people bring out different things. I've definitely been in different relationships and been like, okay, I ain't never seen this side of myself before. Like, this ain't me, you know? So I agree with that.
Yeah, but also, Lauren said that she can foresee it. She never met someone on the first night and just be like, oh yeah, I'm in love and this and that. And yeah. No, I can see myself falling in love with you. That's the difference in what Mr. Nash is saying. So possibilities.
Oh. No, she's not wounded.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm the most funny, joking, optimistic, caring person. I'm honest, I would say that.
Oh yeah, she is straight shooter.
Honest. I am a very straight shooter. I don't hold hurt. That's one thing I don't do.
So yeah, so physical touch for me, like I'm just kind of, I've been out with that Miss Sham below, and sometimes she just be like, "Oh yeah, how you doing?" I'm like, "Girl, you touching that man? Don't touch that man."
Flirting.
Yeah, she's a flirter. She's a flirter.
Would you say that most people who have the love language physical touch are typically flirtatious people?
Well, people call me a flirt. They call me a flirt all the time. But I don't think I'm flirting. I think I'm nurturing. Lauren, you biting your lip.
You're just a people's person. You're a people's person.
I agree.
Like one of my bosses told me one time, Sonya, you flirt all day long. I'm like, I don't flirt. You didn't call me baby. You didn't say sugar. Da 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 da. I'm like, the same thing I say to you, I say to the ladies. It's no difference. I don't see it as any different. I'm not a flirter. I'm just a lover. I mean, I just love people.
I think we can unknowingly be flirtatious if it's just in your nature or nurture. 'Cause like I said, I'm on the same page with Sonya. I do the same thing. I do the same thing. I'm just I wouldn't say I'm necessarily flirtatious, but a people person. That's it.
But yeah, and I think you can be a people's person and you interact with people, but when it comes to you interacting with the opposite sex, they feel like you give that same energy, and because it's the opposite sex, you're flirting. When really you act like that with everybody, it's just you're interacting with the opposite sex, and now it turns into flirting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when I was joking with Miss Jackie, 60 years old, about the same thing, it wasn't flirting, but when the genders change, now
they think it's flirting. Yeah, I had an incident at work that happened one time. A gentleman was getting trained. He was new to the company. And I said something like baby sugar or something like that. And it was two men. One had been with the company for a while and we were training the other guy. And when I said it, the new guy was like, he looked at him. He's like, she don't mean nothing by it. Trust me. She do all of us like that. She just like a mama. So ignore her. She don't mean nothing by it. So yeah.
And that's why I said you got to know your people and people got to know you. Because people who know you, they know that you don't mean any harm.
No harm. No harm.
Or that you're trying to be flirtatious because they know that's your personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it might be a little bit difficult for significant others you get to know to understand that, though, if they don't know you that well.
Yeah.
So I found, that it could very much so be an issue for them because they're like, why are you doing all that to old boy? I'm like, I'm doing it to old girl too. Like, just because that's just me. But like I said, my family knows, my friends know, so no one else takes offense to it. But if someone is new coming in, they may not understand that. So you might have to explain a little bit.
And when they get to know me, they understand. What do you say?
They do. Yeah, he put another comment. then why is it that there's always women doing talk shows about past relationships? You don't see that too often with men, and I never put men on the show to give them opinions. So apparently you're not up to technology and you don't watch YouTube and you don't know who Kevin Samuels is, because he's pretty much leveled the playing fields. And if you're on YouTube, you know, I know it may be a little bit out of your, you know, your technical bracket or whatever you may want to call it, but you may want to go check him out. There's a lot of shows on there, and men host shows and shows and shows and a lot of podcasts. So the playing field when it comes to talk shows with men and male hosting it and podcasts, I think they're pretty even at this point. It's 2021. It's not 1960 anymore, Nash. Come on, you got to keep up with the times, boo.
But then there's also one when the right one comes. It's like 9 men that come on there. They're pastors, entertainers, and they talk about relationships, and they answer the questions for women, or things that they do or don't do, or why they do. So, you know, it's just different opinions. Like, get off the defense. Stop being so abrasive.
No, I'm not on the defense, because I honestly have nothing to be defensive about. And as far as being abrasive, I mean, you know, maybe that's just something you're intaking because of your insecurities and your lack of, but I'm being honest and direct like always. I'm not being abrasive. Not at all.
Oh, yeah. We got any other comments or questions out there from anyone else? Let's see who we got on here.
Other than Nash, but it's good to see you again tonight, Nash. Hey. Hi.
So, yeah, nothing coming in yet, ladies. But, yeah, for physical touch for me, I'm usually kind of standoffish for a while. Well, I mean, if it's... Why you make that face, Shamarian? No, you made a face for...
I'm just listening. I want to hear what she's about to say.
You made a face. I forgot what I was getting ready to say. I was just going to say, like, for first date, being touchy-feely, I'm usually like, no.
Back.
Back. Or just first meeting. But, you know, usually when you go out, if you go out somewhere, they usually come up to you and touch you on that lower back, like right here. Oh, hi, how you doing? Can I buy you a drink?
Excuse me, miss.
All of y'all looking at me sideways.
Because we know what sit up on that lower back.
Shut up.
Sis got some junk in the trunk. I touched that lower
And that's
back.
what they really trying to get to. They trying to slide them down the lower back, but it's all right.
They get slapped.
But yeah, but most definitely being like overly aggressive is a turn off.
Yeah. So what other one have we not touched on? How long we been on here tonight? Don't want to hold people too long.
We got a good hour in.
We got an hour in already?
Yeah. Oh no, I lied. We
not quite. Almost 45 minutes.
We started at 7:30 today. I thought we started at 7.
Yeah. We've talked about our gifts. Lauren, I still want to, hey, Kendra, since you are on the cast tonight, Lauren tried to tell us last week that she's not gotten any gifts, either good or bad.
Oh, from the last time we talked.
In her lifetime of dating.
Well, that's changed since the last time we talked.
Oh.
Well, that's good.
Well, go ahead and share it in since you got something.
I'm not sharing.
I'm not sharing.
Too late.
This is the topic. Hold on. Cody Kendra, you was asking Kendra a question.
No, she wasn't. She was just.
Oh.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did. And she just
exited together in the studios so she couldn't run. I can't believe she just did that.
It just disappeared. So yes, Kendra, In our podcast last night, when we opened up, we talked about, we recapped that on gifts and then went to acts of service. So before we went to acts of service, I said, Lauren, would you like to share your best or worst gift that you've had in your dating experience? She's like, nothing. No, I've never received anything, any gifts. Now y'all been ace coon booms for life.
That's right. Kendra, no.
Look,
I feel like she's received some gifts.
No. What kind of, I mean, but tell me what's been memorable, or what do you remember? Because I haven't.
So, no good ones or no bad ones.
Flowers, that kind of.
Were they dead or alive?
See, Shamarian said them don't count. I agree, those don't count.
Those don't count.
I mean, flowers can be a gift.
Right.
It's a greeting.
Hello, thank you.
Flowers is a greeting?
Yes. What do you when you think when you see somebody and you got flowers in your hand, it's usually met with a hey, how you doing? Good to see you again. I've missed you. It's usually a
Nah, I like flowers, so buying me flowers would be a gift to me because I buy myself flowers. I said that on the last thing. I buy myself flowers every 2 weeks.
Sometimes. Yeah, I do too.
And so somebody buying it for me is a gift to me because that's something I like. I mean, if you're not necessarily a flower person, then I guess it wouldn't be a gift. It would be just like a just because type thing or whatever you want to call it. But I'll let y'all be great.
So, okay, ever since then, I think that I will substitute time as a gift. Right? Not substitute, but like time is equal to a gift. Like if you give me your time outside of like the normal, I talked to you on the phone for an hour, the text thing, like that don't count. But if you intentionally be like, I'm blocking off 3, 4, 5 days, turning off everything, like to me, that is a gift. Right?
That's a gift and quality time all together.
Absolutely.
That's 2 love languages.
Absolutely. Because the world don't stop, and I'm hopefully ain't messing with no bum, and he got business to tend to. But if he's able to turn it off and give you his undivided attention, time is a gift. And
making me lift my hands and praise him.
That's why they say you can't waste no time. Blah blah blah. It's the thing.
Time is very expensive because you can't get it back.
You can't get it back. And don't waste my time. God doggone it. Date me for 2 years and then know you. Yeah.
You dated for 2 years, girl.
We're not going there. Been there, done that. It's all good. The last one we talked about. The worst gift, the best gift. Got all wrapped in one. So yeah. Well, that's awesome, Lauren. That's good.
I'm happy for you, Lauren.
Thank you.
But she's still single, y'all.
I feel
like she received something. I'm gonna back in my memory bank because I got a terrible memory, so I'm not the one.
Kendra gave me a gift.
Think about this.
Kendra gave me a name necklace. She made me Nunu in ATL.
Nunu in ATL. So y'all were in Atlanta, and she gave you a Nunu.
It's a movie. ATL.
Oh. Okay, I'm with you.
He gave her a chain, and when they, jacked up, he ripped the chain off. But Kendra hasn't ripped my chain off my neck, so I'm still good.
No, we still good.
Well, our best gifts and worst gifts that we discussed, we brought up other gifts too, as far as people, not just necessarily romantic gifts, but because some of my best gifts, other gifts that I have been from friends.
We definitely talked about that. We talked about best gifts you received, period, or best gifts you've given. So you can talk about a gift that you've gotten from a friend, or one that you've given to a friend that you thought was a really thoughtful gift. Lauren has given some very thoughtful gifts.
I have. I didn't think about those. wanted to forget that I even wasted my creativity on people like that.
That is absolutely correct. And you might not want to give away your secrets because
I'm not, because I'm gonna use it again, maybe.
But it's too late. Mine are already out there in the world, so I gotta try it different.
What is it really?
What did you do? All right, you can always do it again and put a different spin on it.
My birthday coming up, Lauren. I'm sending my way.
I saw her reputation. I said, "Oh, she's living it up."
Sham gonna be 40 years old this week.
Yay.
9/11. Y'all wish my Foxy a happy birthday. Send her a shout out. Go to her page. Say happy birthday, Shamarian.
We're going up this weekend. It's lit.
We gonna party.
Fire.
I'm ready for the fire, girl. I'm ready.
I'm ready for the fire. This is Mr.
SilverFox got her outfit ready. She ready.
Ooh.
SilverFox ready.
Well, I need to see what you're wearing.
Lauren, wish you could be here.
I know. I'm missing out. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll take pictures.
Nobody else? Oh, it's still Mr. Nash in the comments. So
he hasn't said anything else. I think he left us.
Okay, good.
What did he say? Most people use terms of endearment verbally and physically. It can be misunderstood.
I'm not queen. I'm not a fan of somebody calling me queen, and don't do that.
Oh, girl, boy. Okay. Oh, still here, Smarty Pants.
Hey, boo.
Well.
I didn't even laugh.
Oh gosh,
hey,
y'all.
Glad you still hanging in there.
Lauren, are you going to share any gifts at all, or are you just skipping past this?
We talked about that last time. I was like, no.
Dang, Lauren.
You've given gifts. Oh, you said you ain't going to give away your secrets. I forgot we said that. Okay. All right. My bad.
Not even one?
No.
Okay.
She said they come sparingly, so she
Man, I be putting so much thought into it, only for it to just be like wasted.
Drama? You think we coming with drama? This is not drama. This is just healthy conversation. A wise man just sits and listens to the drama without comments. Ain't no drama here. We just talking about love languages and our love languages,
There's
what we give. Dating shenanigans, things we've been through.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say he was wise, but yeah, no drama free.
All right.
So yeah.
Talk about the next love language.
Well, we went into quality time. We were talking about quality time. Lauren brought up quality time with someone turning themselves off from the world, giving their time, no cell phone, no TV. Was there any TV or anything? It was just undivided attention for you, Miss Lauren?
Yeah. I mean, the TV was on. Like, for me, quality time doesn't necessarily mean like sit in a room and look at me, look at you, right? Like, no, we could be watching like a movie together, or we can both be sitting on a couch and we could both be on our phones. But the fact that like your body's close to me or you're next to me, like that is comforting in a sense. So I think quality time looks different to many different people. Of course, that's why I said that cutting off the world and like actually making time is considered a gift. And then actual quality time is like spending time in a room or with you, or doing an activity with somebody. Like, to me, that's like quality time. Yeah. So just me being with the person is,
Yeah, quality time is my number one. I absolutely love being around people and spending time with people. And I like the idea of, like you said, it's a gift for somebody to cut off the rest of the world. I absolutely hate when I go out. I brought this up because I just saw when I went out to a restaurant, went out to eat, and a guy and a girl were on a date. I don't know if they were married or what, but the whole time the guy's just down at his phone, and the girl just sitting there. And I was just like, I'm mad and I want to say something to him and I'm not even with him. Like, I absolutely hate that. You can put your phone down for 2 seconds to have a conversation. We're out right now in each other's company, so keep me company. And I feel like that goes for if we're deciding to watch a movie together. We're not in our phones. We're into the movie. So like she said, it looks different for different people, but just be active in it. You know, if we're choosing to sit there and be on our phones as quality time, then that's a different story. But if we're actually doing something else, focus on the activity at hand.
Yeah, I think people lose. They lose. What's the word I'm looking for?
With the connection, maybe.
They lose connection. Let's say they've lost connection. A lot of times when I see people out on their telephones, they're not talking to each other. They're just waiting for dinner. It's like they're just going to dinner with somebody and just sitting there. It's like the relationship for them has fizzled out. And that's not just romantically. That's even on a personal level. Because I know my mom hates when I come over to her house and I'm sitting, you on that doggone phone. I'm like, no, mama. So sometimes I just have to put the phone down because she be in her feelings. She's just like, hey, what about me? What about me? You know, Jennifer Holiday. No, that's Jennifer Hudson in the movie. Wasn't that movie? What about me, when she was singing the
Dream Girls.
Dream Girls. Thank you, girl. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. So that's important in all of our relationships, romantically, with our friends, being there, being present, listening.
Mm-hmm. I concur.
Yeah,
for sure.
So our last love language, we've gone into 50 affirmation. Ooh, we were all spinning. Y'all there? Can y'all hear me? And then I see we haven't, people are still making comments on Sonya, SilverFox Sonya. If you'd like to make comments or say anything, go to SilverFox Sonya podcast and put your comments there so we can put them on the screen. Thank you in advance. But my other love language that we have not discussed is words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Words of affirmation.
That's last on the list for me, as far as words of affirmation. Because, I look in the mirror and be like, girl, you cute. You fine. I love you. So I'm like, somebody saying it to me. I mean, it's nice. It feels good. But you ladies, where does words of affirmation fall for you all?
That's my top. My top two is words of affirmation and quality time. And now, you know what? I think I'm going to take it the quiz again. It might be shifting. Like I said, touch might be up there now. Words of affirmation might be number 3, but it was number 1 at first. And I don't know. Maybe it is words of affirmation for me because I never really heard it growing up. Like, it was never really a thing. So when I hear it, it's like, it fills me with joy. Like, it fills my love tank. So I'm not sure.
I definitely plan to take it before this last episode of our love languages. Retake it so I can see if mine are still aligned to what it used to be. Because last time I took it was maybe 3 years ago. So it's been a while.
Yeah, and as you get older, you change.
Definitely.
Things change.
Definitely. But words of affirmation, I don't know if that was, I don't think that was high on my list. I think that was somewhere at the bottom for me too, because I'm not really a words of affirmation type person, a giver. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean I don't want to get it. So I don't know. I'm going to take it and find out.
Okay. And Shamarian, you are words of affirmation, girl. Is she on mute? Yeah, she on mute. Did I mute her?
It's most definitely in my top 3. I think words are powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes. Is that all you had to say? Words are powerful.
You can hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
No. Yes, I can hear you. No, I was just going to say words are powerful, and I think they can be very beneficial if they're healthy in a relationship. So I would have to say it's in my top 3. I would have to say it's my 3rd, because I feel like when you're in a relationship, or not even a relationship, well, not just a romantic relationship or you're dating someone, but like even within your family or your friends, like those are people like you trust to be in your inner circle, I would think. There's some type of trust level, there's some type of bond that you guys have. So, you're attentive when those people say things to you.
Yeah.
When they compliment you, oh girl, you looking cute, you're like, oh girl, thank you, I thought so too when I was in there. But it just means something different, coming from somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's it affirms what you was already thinking, but it's just always good to be complimented for someone else. And and the same thing with negative words. Like if somebody telling you don't eat a cookie, because you gained weight last time you saw them, like that can reflect you in a negative way, So, you have to be careful about the words that you speak to people. You really do. They mean something, especially when you're in that person's inner circle, and you're in that person's personal space. Like you have to watch the words that you say to people,
Agree.
So if you guys speak positive, speak light, speak loves,
Yeah, so y'all, we have gone through all the love languages, and I guess next we need to come back with our funny stories again and talk about some of those things that are on our list. I'm gonna wait till Lauren comes back before we sign out. Hey, Lauren, you're back.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey, sorry. I don't know her.
So we just wanted to recap on acts of services from our last podcast, as well as I guess we touched on everything now. We've touched on gifts, our best and worst, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time. Yes. So does anyone have any questions, any comments before we go for the evening?
Were you able to see the comments that people were posting on the Sonya and SilverFox instead of the podcast?
Yeah, it was just one. It was one. There's Aaliyah Fally. Thank you, Aaliyah. She says Sonya is the best. Miss you, Sonya. Miss you too, Aaliyah. How's everyone's families doing? Nobody with COVID or anything, huh? Everybody good?
Thank God.
Wearing your mask? I did lose a cousin to COVID last week, but, and I've had 2 other cousins that got it and had it pretty bad, and it affected their organs. So you all, please take care of yourselves. Wear your mask. Social distance. Don't go to concerts. Sorry, Lauren.
She just threw you out there,
Lauren. I know, but this thing is crazy, and I hate to see kids dying from this. It's sad. But no more questions, no more comments. SilverFox, Sonya, and the Foxies will be back again in a couple of weeks. And again, send a shout out to our girl, Miss Shamarian. She'll be turning 40 this weekend on 9/11. Whoop, whoop, fire 40. Let's go, let's go. So y'all, we thank y'all for joining us tonight and appreciate y'all coming in. Next week, we're going to have to come back with some funnies to get y'all back to belly rolling with us. But we enjoyed y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. Ladies, anybody want to sign out with anything before I close us out? Nope.
No, just continue to be careful, be safe, spread love. Life is short.
So yes, spread love. Pop, pop, pop. Y'all know that one? Spread love. That's Take 6. Y'all too young. Y'all make me feel.
Take 6, but I mean, I remember the group. I can't recall any songs that I, can remember that they put out. But
y'all remember Take 6? You know who Take 6 is? Lauren and Kendra. Oh,
like all music too. Don't tell her. Tell
what's
Lauren.
that?
I say, Lauren, like all that throwback music. Don't underestimate it now.
Yeah, I forgot. She do like throwback music. Throwback music and old men. Look. Kendra biting the lips. I'm messing with you, Lauren. I'm messing with you. But Foxies, thank you for joining us tonight. What's Shamaria?
I say she likes her being refined. Not
refined. Okay, I'm sorry. Refined. But Foxies, that's all we have for you all tonight. Thank y'all for joining in. We love you. Y'all have a blessed week. Take care. And wear your mask. Have a good evening. Peace. Love y'all.